Hey everybody, this is Dr. Maples, and today we're doing 5-minute sociology, where I discuss a big sociological idea in 5 minutes-ish or less. In fact, we're going to do 3 of them today. We're going to talk about social constructs, social constructionism, social constructivism. Got the definitions on the slide there. Feel free to pause and write those down, but we're going to dig into those in just a moment. We got a lot to talk about today, so let's get started. So our first idea is social constructs. These are ideas that we've all largely agreed upon as being real and true through our interactions with others. Money is a great example of this. I can use money to buy stuff at McDonald's, Walmart, anywhere. But does it really have meaning? I mean, really, it's just bits of paper. And in fact, if we think about money, it changes in its meaning based on the number that's on it. That's kind of the crazy thing about money. We've agreed that it's real. It's a social construct. We've constructed the reality that money has value, that it has to be treated in a certain way, that it has to be made by a certain person, federal government, so I can't just print my own money. We also understand that there's meanings behind it as a social construct. For example, if I buy a really awesome car, that shows to other people that I have money and that I have the resources to pay for that car. Likewise, that even shows that maybe I'm a more powerful person because I earn more money or that I have more money. These are all social constructs. None of it's actually real. In the end, money is just bits of paper and cloth and coins that are made of metal. But they don't actually have meaning unless we all agree upon the fact that they do. In fact, that's where we take the social construct to the realm of social constructionism. Now, social constructionism is our next term, and the idea here is that we've created our reality by interacting with other people over the years. We have to remember, first off, money A is a social construct, so we know it isn't real. But let's think about this in an even bigger sense. So much of our reality is built on the idea that society exists. But society is a social construct. It's not something that exists independently of human thought. It's something that we have created. It's an organization system that we have created in order to sort of manage our lives. And it changes over time. Moreover, the tenets of our society, things like human rights and laws, these are things that are social constructs too, because they only have reality and fact if we say that they do. So that's kind of scary, right? Now, you have to understand, social constructionism is an idea that has been toyed with by many, many people. If you want to go back to more a core understanding of it, I suggest looking at George Herbert Mead's book from 1934, Mind, Self, and Society, to understand the core ideas from it. And you have to understand, too, especially with like postmodernism and exploring this idea in the 70s and 80s, social constructionism as we understand it has really changed over time. Now, in fact, today, if we take this more postmodern approach to social constructionism, we might ask to what degree any of our reality is true. We've seen theorists posit between this idea of a weak and a strong social constructionism. Weak social constructionism would be like a brute fact, something we know to be true outside of us needing to create that reality. I would argue gravity is a good example of that. We know that gravity is true. We understand that that process is true. We know that that's sort of a brute, hard fact. But, going to the strong end of that, we would see folks question if even the scientific method is something that is real, because we've sort of created this way that we can create scientific fact. And is that genuine? Is that something that exists outside of our own made-up world? This is where we start to get into sort of that strong constructionism realm of the Matrix. In fact, that whole first movie was really exploring the idea about to what degree our reality is, well, real. Social constructionism is amazing. I do want to delineate it from another term that people get confused, and that's social constructivism. We're going to keep this one short. Social constructivism is simply put the idea that we pass this knowledge of social constructs and our reality down through generations through interactions. Again, we can think about our money example. I understand how money works because my mom took me to places when she would buy stuff. Likewise, I've taught my daughter how to use the quarter machines where you put in a quarter, okay, it's really more like $6, and you get a ring that's worth pennies. That's social constructivism. It's thinking about the passing of that knowledge down over time. Social constructionism is thinking about creating that reality through interactions. Social constructs are ideas that we all agree more or less to be true. And that's the end of the video. How did I do on the stopwatch for this one? Now, explaining these big ideas in 5 minutes-ish or less is difficult, and it basically leaves out some big ideas to focus on the core. So understand that if you're writing papers on it, that you need to do lots more research. But if you got questions, you can leave them in the comments below. Also, if there's a term that you'd like me to do a 5-minute video on, you let me know in the comments, and I'll be glad to do that just for you, just like I did this video. All right, that's all, folks. We'll see you next time. Take care.